All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something that's honestly one of the most practical and, well, elegant ideas in software design. It's called the adapter pattern. And trust me, it's a super simple idea for a super common problem. The cool thing is, once you get it, you're going to start seeing it, well, everywhere.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Before we even talk about the solution, the adapter pattern itself, we've got to understand the problem it's built to fix. And you know the best way to do that? A simple story. So, let's say you've got two buddies. You're trying to get them to hang out. They've never met. You just know they'd hit it off, but there's a tiny problem. Okay, so your first friend, they're native French speaker. And I mean, they only speak French, not a lick of English. So anything they say, anything they hear, it's gotta be in French.
And then there's your other friend who, you guessed it, speaks only English, not a single word of French.
So here's our problem, right? How do you get them to talk? They both want to communicate, but they just can't. In the tech world, we'd say they have incompatible interfaces. They're using totally different methods. So what do you do? Well, the solution is you, right? You step in the middle. You're the translator. You become the bridge. Your English-speaking friend talks to you. You translate it into French for your other friend, and then you do the same thing in reverse. And that right there is exactly what the adapter pattern is all about in software. You've just become a human adapter. So if you were to look this up in a textbook, this is pretty much what you'd see. The key here is that word bridge. It allows two things that don't match up to work together. Think of it like a wrapper. It takes this thing we want to use, our French-speaking friend, but whose interface we can't deal with directly, and it wraps it up in a brand new interface that our system, our English-speaking friend, can understand.
And here's where that analogy just maps so perfectly to the real tech terms. Let's break it down. Your English-speaking friend, the one who wants to talk, that's the client. It's the part of the system making a request. Your French-speaking friend, the one we're trying to talk to, that's the adaptee. It's the existing, valuable piece we want to use, but can't really change. And you, the translator in the middle doing all the work, you're the adapter. You're the go-between that makes the whole thing possible. Simple, right? Okay, so let's swap out our friends for some code and look at a real-world software example. This is where you can really see the magic happen. Let's say you're building a shiny new system, and part of its job is to print stuff. Simple enough. Your new system is built to use a really standard, simple command, let's call it print function. But the printer you have to connect to? It's one of those older legacy models. You know the type. It's a workhorse, it's reliable, it works great, but it's software. It was built to understand a different command. It's expecting print document function. So boom, incompatible interfaces. Again, so how does this work in practice? Let's follow the data. First, our new system, the client, just does its thing. It calls print, and it sends that call to our adapter. Now the adapter catches that print call, and here's the crucial part. The adapter immediately turns around and calls the old printer using the command it understands, print document. Finally, the printer does its job, and the result goes back. And the best part? The client has no idea any of that translation happened. To the client, it just worked. It's completely seamless.
Okay, so now that you see how it works, it's probably becoming really clear when you'd want to use this thing. It's all about bridging those gaps.
So when do you pull this tool out of your toolbox? Well, the most classic case is exactly what we just talked about. You have some great legacy code or maybe a third-party library that you just can't change. Instead of ripping your own code apart to make it fit, you just build an adapter. It also means you can add new stuff to your system without that constant fear of breaking what's already there. And probably the best part, all that messy, weird translation logic, it's all tucked away neatly in one place. One class that's easy to find and easy to maintain. But you know, like any tool, as great as it is, you've got to be smart about using it. The adapter pattern is brilliant, for sure, but it's not the answer to every single problem. Look, every design pattern comes with trade-offs. The adapter is no different. The upside is amazing, right? You get to reuse code you thought was lost, you get tons of flexibility, but there's always a watch out for column. Every adapter you write adds another layer to your system, another moving part. Now that can make things a little more complex, a little harder to debug. And yeah, there's a tiny, tiny performance hit for that extra step. So the key is to be practical. Is it a real chunky incompatibility? Great, use an adapter. Is it a tiny little name change? Maybe it's overkill.
So when you boil it all down, the adapter pattern is just a universal translator. It's a simple but brilliant idea for connecting things that were never meant to connect, whether that's your laptop charger in a foreign country or two massive pieces of software. And like I said at the start, once you see this pattern, you really can't unsee it. So I'll leave you with a question. Now that you know what it is, where are you going to see an adapter bridging a gap in your everyday life? Think about it. Thanks for watching.